underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 325. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the Dark Knight of News, Andrew Goldfarb.
I'm back.
You're back. You've been gone a long time.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks.
People are always like, yeah, well, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, well, I was dead.
Were you?
I was medically dead.
Is it from all the food you ate in Texas?
Yes.
What's the best thing you ate in Texas?
A lot of really good Mexican food and a steak.
I said the best thing you ate, and you said a lot of really good Mexican food.
I had a steak that was really good.
Makes sense, Texas.
Yep.
Next to Andrew Goldfarb is none other than He Only Does Everything, Colin Moriarty.
Hello.
You're reading the Famitsu there.
Yep.
You're getting a lot of knowledge out of it. You're just looking at the pretty pictures. Yeah, looking at the pretty pictures for all the games.
Tales of Hysteria is the cover story.
That guy looks unique.
He looks unique, or are you being
He
facetious?
looks unique is what we came up with.
Yeah.
Why do you hate Japanese culture so much?
All the anime
Yeah, you're
characters.
racist.
Wow.
Totally
I'm
racist.
racist against anime characters.
Yep. Why'd you ride out? Next to Colin, the PlayStation Wonderkin, Vince Ingenito,
That is my name.
with a very confusing Twitter name.
For a second, I thought you forgot.
Yeah, it is
No,
really confusing.
I'm using drama from the theater.
Theater.
You're a lot lighter. You lost a bunch of hair.
I lost at least 10 pounds worth of hair.
Yeah. Or you didn't lose it. It's not like you went bald. You got a haircut.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
Do you
woke
know
up
where
like
it
this.
went?
Yeah.
No, I woke up like this morning. I was like, "What happened? Cut my hair."
You trimmed the beard. You trimmed the beard a little bit too.
Yeah. You know,
Did you shave your
Where's
chest?
the job interview at?
well, you know that place down the road from us, Greg Miller? No, kidding.
It's not SF Supco. Which closed. It's been
Yeah,
closed.
SF
Yeah.
Supco no longer in business. Do
It's
you
now
feel
a
like you
juice
let
store.
them down?
A little bit, yeah. I haven't been there in months, so it is
There you go.
actually
That's what did
directly
it.
my fault.
Maybe
screwed up.
someone
You
finally
screwed
figured
up,
out that
Goldfarb.
soup alone isn't enough to sustain a business.
Yeah, well, it's only that
Stupid store.
There are many other fine locations of SF Supco. It's just
I'm
going
gonna take them down one by one. That's my goal. now. Next, I'm going to that mall across from Jimmy John's. That one's next on my list.
Ooh, uh-oh.
No, my job interview is for Podcast Beyond. You know, this is my second time in a row being on. You know,
In a
two
row?
times.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 times in as
Oh,
many
right,
weeks.
We did the actual. The
That's
video
right.
segment. I stopped myself. I remember Jared being in here.
You know, if you go for
There's a war always on that Twitter between you and him, between fans of each side taking up arms over who
And
should fill the
Altano,
fourth chair.
lots of Altano.
That's right.
Altano screwed himself out of that one. He says he likes being a traveling man. He said it himself.
I'm coming for you, Goldfarb.
Free agent, that's what he calls it.
Coming for you.
No, Goldfarb's fine. He's sad. Also, Goldfarb's never here, so it doesn't matter. He can be in it.
Goldfarb's days on this podcast are
I'll
numbered.
be here next week. I won't be here the week after.
Okay. Or the week after that, or any other week.
No,
That's it.
You'll be here on my leisure.
Goodbye to Andrew Goldfarb, episode 326. That's that one's title. Of course, Podcast Beyond is IGN's PlayStation podcast, the number one PlayStation podcast on the internet. And today's a special day, Colin. What is this today?
It's January 21st.
Right? But as far as this show,
It's
this
going to be
episode,
the annual predictions podcast that I win every
the annual
single year.
PlayStation
Win,
prediction
in
podcast, where we go
quotation
through
marks.
and each of us does 5 predictions. Colin usually does 5 predictions that have a million permutations,
Yep.
so he can skate around this.
0.333.
Every time he cheats,
He
and gets
games
all
the
these
system
point
every
things.
year.
Of course, M-Dog, Mitchell Morgan, we trust him implicitly. He keeps the stats for us, so we know what's up and
So
where
we
we're
did get
going.
him.
We got him. We're all set.
Excellent.
We have last year. Did you win 2012?
I don't know, probably.
I don't think you did. I thought isn't that the one we got to fight about because I won?
because you got all these bullshit points
and
for
you
things.
and you were like, oh, you trust M-Dog implicitly, and then you argued all the stats because you're a little bitch.
Yeah, let's see how much I trust him now.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into that, of course, we will start the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news.
There are 12 items on the list.
Good God, y'all! A dozen.
Yep, just a straight dozen.
Yeah.
Not a baker's
Not
dozen, but a dozen.
A baker's
Straight-
dozen, ladies and gentlemen. is
Straight
13.
dozen. Number 1. HBO Go is officially coming to both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4.
This is a win.
You'll Yeah, have to have totally. a login from your cable provider to use HBO Go. This
Login.
service will offer, quote, every episode of every season of the network's best shows, end quote, along with, quote, hit movie sports documentaries and comedy specials, end quote.
Quote.
There was no release date given.
HBO Go is awesome. I loved it on
Yeah.
my Xbox 360. I miss it a lot because I have my Xbox One hooked up, PS4 and PS3 hooked up. PS4, Xbox One, getting most of the time.
I don't know.
None of which have the
And none of them have the app, so I can't. I missed a whole bunch of Boardwalk Empire. I haven't had a
Yep.
chance to catch up yet. I'm not gonna watch it on my tablet. I'm not gonna hook up an Xbox 360 to do this. But here we go.
I'm also
Yeah,
really happy
future.
about this because my girlfriend,
we're long distance. She's in South Carolina. We like watching Game of Thrones together when we can. But if she watches it on her PC, like the sound is coming through the microphone, and it's all screwed up, so we can't ever do it.
Right.
And she only plays on Sony consoles, and it's never had HBO Go, so she can't, hasn't been able to watch it on her TV. So like now, like she's got a PS4. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna be like FaceTiming and watching Game of Thrones together. I'm super psyched.
I thought you and I were going to be doing that, though.
Who says you can't be there?
You can do it on the West Coast speed with them.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Just watch
I
it
like
twice.
that.
Just feign
I can't believe they killed him.
It's about time. I mean, what sucks about this is that I get the impression they were probably holding the PS3 announcement until they could announce it simultaneously with PS4, which is kind of a shame because the Xbox 360 one came out over a year ago.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, a long time ago. No
And this
Vita.
also
No
leaked
Vita.
out. This also leaked out at one point here
Yeah.
that we had that kids took screenshots of it because you went and like the IGN app's available now, and then below it was like coming soon, a whole bunch of other stuff, and then they immediately deleted that.
I think HBO Go is amazing. The fact that it has as much as it does, I just wish they would kind of get with the times and sell a la carte subscriptions because
I mean, like we talk about this all the time, right? Like I
TV
think
providers are not going to.
yeah, but WWE Network's the first people to do it. They're the first guys to say, "Here's what's up, $10 a month."
Yeah, but to be fair, WWE is not HBO.
I know. That's why they can go through and test bed and show how much money they're going to make. And their subscriber numbers are going to be ridiculous for that first month.
Yeah, but the point that's not what I'm saying. I'm sure it would work great for HBO. It's just HBO has this symbiotic relationship for 30 years with cable television. They probably get $3 or $4 per
Yeah,
subscription.
but times change, Colin.
No, WWE's the same way. I mean, they're on cable TV as well with USA Network or whatever it is now.
Yeah,
Is it
but
still USA?
they're not a channel. Like I'm just saying this is the same reason why you can't have digital only games yet because it hurts the people that you need still right now. But once HBO decides to do that, the die will be cast for a lot of those channels. I think.
Yep.
Number 2. The Last of Us: A Single Player DLC Left Behind finally has a release date. You can purchase it on Valentine's Day, February 14th,
Go
2014.
fuck yourself, couples.
It will cost. Well, we probably would have already played it by then, don't you think?
Well, yeah, but we're not everybody.
That's true. But
We're everyone who matters.
I also
Colin.
like how as soon as he says couples, you bring up Greg.
Well, Greg and I are a couple. It will cost $14.99. You can go to IGN and check out my exclusive first look at the DLC. We have a video and an exclusive interview and all that good
Does
stuff.
it look good?
Yeah, it looks great.
Is that the opening? You think? Is that the opening moments?
I think so. Yeah. Number 3. A PS4 error is causing some save files to be corrupted. A 35-page PlayStation forum thread talks about error C-34878-0 and affects games ranging from FIFA 14, Assassin's Creed 4, and Call of Duty Ghosts to NBA 2K14 and Battlefield 4. What happened?
Nothing.
What are you doing?
I'm zooming in. Calm the fuck down. Go through your little NBA news that nobody gives a shit about. Get the fuck outta here.
No one gives a shit about
Your corrupted
save file
saves. I know.
corrupts.
Assassin's Creed is
Corruption.
terrifying.
Just use the PlayStation Cloud.
Your cloud.
Like good people. Mm-hmm. Number 4. Housemarque, this is the most exciting news. Housemarque has revealed that it is officially working on DLC for its PS4 exclusive
Cannot
game
wait.
Resogun, as well as another unannounced PS4 game.
Cannot wait
Dead
for
Nation
either of
2.
those.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fucking yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they better
it is.
bring that shit to Vita too. I'm gonna tell you what.
Well, didn't they already say they're doing that with Dead Nation 1? And as fast as that's happening,
Oh yeah.
wouldn't hold your breath for
I
Dead
doubt
Nation 2.
they're doing it internally.
Sure, of course. They got bigger
Oh,
fish to
Dead
fry.
Nation. Oh my god.
A good game. IGN.com.
Yeah. Number 5. Disney may have acquired Lucasfilms and hence the right to all things Star Wars, but it doesn't intend on ever doing anything with the abandoned and presumably canceled Star Wars game called 1313.
Such a
Disney
shame.
has officially abandoned the game's trademark, which the company opted not to renew when it expired on December 23rd, 2013. Not surprising.
Not surprising
Yeah.
at all.
Not surprising, but kind of depressing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were holding out hope that like Visceral was working on it or something, but like there's no way. That was all proprietary tech. That was all. It was being done with Industrial Light and Magic, with Skywalker Sound. Like there's just no way that another studio could pick that up without starting over.
Number 6. Disney Infinity, Disney's copy of Activision's Skylanders, is officially a hit.
That's not nice.
MPD reported that over 3 million starter packs have been sold for the game. The number doesn't take into account expansion packs sold since its release in August. Skylanders Swap Force also sold extremely well, but the games were neck and neck in the December MPD, both selling over 550,000 units each.
I think Infinity is legitimately interesting and separate and unique. It stole Skylanders' gimmick for sure, but the
Yeah,
game
that's-
itself is
Oh, I'm sure
is
the game's
sufficiently
different, but
unique.
it's...
yeah. Because the way like it works differently. Like Skylanders is just like you have characters and stats saved on the figure itself. But like Disney, like each pack you buy gets you like a separate like toy box and separate like things to do. So
And I feel like every person who's played that comes back going, that was surprisingly good. I
Right.
think it's, one
yeah,
of those
some of
games.
it's really deep.
Yeah.
I played Disney Universe back in the day.
Ooh,
Oh,
For them trophies?
No, for the review.
Oh, you reviewed it. Yeah.
That was pretty good. Number 7. Deception 4 Blood Ties is officially coming to PS3 and PS Vita on March 25th in North America. The Tecmo Koei game was originally announced at TGS in 2013 and is a follow-up to the old PS1 action game Deception. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
actually.
it looks dope, and I love this entire series. I even like Trapped. You know, like I like this entire gimmick of just setting up a dungeon and setting up combos and of traps and just being a sadistic fucker and killing people. It's
Yeah, he plays the bad guy, which is cool.
yeah.
Remember that game, that band Trapped? With a T?
If I remember correctly, the game Trapped. If I remember correctly, the game was titled also the same way with Trapped with a T at the end. So that would actually that's a music video that has to happen. Someone make it
fucking
internet,
guys.
make it happen.
On my old cell phone in like 2003, my ringtone was like, dee, dee, dee.
Oh, yeah, the MIDI versions. Oh, wow, I totally forgot. I used to have MIDI versions of songs, too.
Number 8.
Wow.
We've come a long way. Number 8. The Wolf Among Us' long-awaited second episode finally has a release window. It will launch on applicable platforms in the first week of February.
Yay!
The original episode of The Wolf Among Us launched back in October of 2013. Telltale says that the wait between episodes shouldn't be as extreme moving forward. They seem to have their plates pretty full right now, so
They really do.
I don't know why they have it so full.
Yeah, it's
Well, not all those games are in production at once, as far as like actually being made.
Yeah, I would guess that like Game of Thrones is in pre-production at best.
Sure.
'Cause that's they had.
Well, I mean,
nothing
look at
to
how
show.
long it took them to get anything about Wolf Among Us out. Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead were announced at the same event.
Yep.
I mean, they're single team developer, right? I mean, they don't
No,
have
not
I think
anymore.
they-
Oh, not
they-
anymore.
they-
Or before Walking Dead, they were. Now I think they might even be up to 3.
Really?
Because I think.
Oh, wow. Okay,
it's-
good.
I think the way they work is people just jump between projects, so I don't even know if it's defined teams necessarily.
sure.
I think it's just probably that like someone's working on one episode of Walking Dead. That doesn't necessarily mean they'll also be on the next episode of Walking Dead.
Yeah, because when they announced both like Tales from the Borderlands and Game of Thrones at the same time, I was like, yes, but what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
I would be surprised if we even saw Game of Thrones in 2014. I think that'll be probably a next.
is that your first prediction?
Yeah, that's my first unofficial prediction.
Lock it in, Mitchell Morgan.
It's a Vita exclusive. Number 9. Ubisoft is officially bringing a next-gen version of Tetris to both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yeah!
Its partnership with the Tetris
Show's over.
I know.
That's all you needed to know.
There's no game. I don't think there's any game I played online more on PS3 than
That was
fucking
such a good version of Tetris. You and I loved that thing
Oh
so
my
much.
God, it was
Will
so
Power's out there
stupid.
playing.
It
Your
was so
voice
stupid
chatting,
how
you're
into
dropping
it we were.
blocks. It's great.
It made no sense.
God,
how
I love Tetris.
It made no sense how into that game we were, but it
Yeah.
was awesome. Its partnership with the Tetris company cements the game's development, which will be released during 2014, the 30th anniversary of the game that was developed in the 1980s in the
Time out.
Soviet Union.
If memory serves, didn't we give that PS3 multiplayer game of the year?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I would have killed somebody.
Lost.
I would have
So
gone
awesome.
It was.
ham on
It
someone.
was. There was that one mode that we loved. I don't remember. It was the one where you fucked
four-player
the
one?
other. It was the one where you fucked the other person.
You earned your little power up that you could then do.
Yeah. Oh god, we would
So
be
good.
into that. Number 10. Guerrilla Games has revealed Killzone Shadowfall's first DLC in the form of 2 multiplayer maps. The Cruiser and the Hangar will both be available to all Shadowfall players completely free of charge, though there is no release date for either map as of yet. I also heard that they're bringing a clan system in February, but I haven't read anything about that yet, which is cool.
Yeah, the multiplayer in Shadowfall surprisingly cool.
Yeah, it is. It is very good.
I think if you're not playing it, try it out. Might surprise you.
I think it was free for a while, right? But not anymore. Number 11. The controversial card battling JRPG Monster Mon piece is officially coming west and will be available exclusively on PS Vita.
Why is this one controversial, Colin?
You can rub the ladies.
So I had the exclusive reveal of this yesterday. We have the video on the internet on the old internet.
On the
there
internet.
IGN.
On the interwebs.
Fire up your internet box.
And you can go check it out. But basically, it was controversial even in Japan because it's a card battling RPG, so it actually has a great mechanics and it looks a lot of fun. But there's this one part where all the cards are monster girls, they're called, and you hold the Vita sideways and then rub them to like take their remove clothes to like level them up.
I see.
So it's gonna be a
Did
little.
they get completely nude?
I don't think so.
No, sir.
And in fact, cards were cut out to keep it an M-rated game.
Is this bad? Is this something? Is the outcry justified? You've actually seen more of it than anybody else, right?
yeah,
At this point, it's just a punchline to all of us.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of embarrassing, but like, it's a compile heart game. Like, this is what they do.
There you go. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much all you have
Like,
to
so
say.
I don't just go.
Compile Heart is being Compile Heart.
Yeah, like go play Hyperdimension or Mugen Souls or whatever and
Right.
see how inappropriate those games are. I mean, that's just status quo for that.
No,
studio.
I hear you.
And it's interesting. Compile Heart has like a lot of fans, like a lot
Yeah.
of fans, but
and
like
they're very avid.
yeah, and like they don't make games that I think are very good. So like but
agree.
people love those games, and I actually think this game looks fun. So, but like that part, I'm surprised they didn't just cut that out completely.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? You think they would for American sensibilities, or at least worldwide sensibilities, outside of what is.
Well, because it's
Oh my God.
it's the double-edged
Man
sword
down.
of number one, just
Thank
being
you
a
for calling me
gimmicky
my hero.
feature,
Yeah, no
and number
problem.
two, causing controversy where it doesn't probably need to be. Like, it's not like it's the defined art style of the game or something. Like, just that the mechanic is what bothers people, probably not even the nudity itself.
Yeah, the art is actually cool in the sense that Compile Heart got like a dozen really well-known JRPG or like Japanese studio artists to make all the cards. So there's like a bunch of different people that worked on the game. So I'm sure the art is inappropriate too. Is inappropriate enough to get like 10% of the cards cut from the game completely.
Yeah.
And there's no dudes in it, are there?
No.
See, that's a problem.
We'll wait for that DLC, right?
We should
Greg?
make that DLC. We should do that. Rub some clothes off some
the main
dudes.
characters are all girls that seem to be normally dressed, but then all of the cards are monster girls that are like totally vulgar. But the game did pretty well in Japan, and a sequel was just announced. That's coming out in Japan in like April or May. So
Just don't play it on the train.
and this is so for JRPG fans too. This is Idea Factory is putting this out here, and they just created basically their Western presence recently. So I would expect more announcements of this kind. And this was a couple weeks ago on Beyond. People were saying, like I said, like I promise more Vita games are coming that you don't know about yet. This was one of them. There are more, so stay tuned.
Are there any that aren't completely tasteless?
Yes, there certainly are.
Final
There's
question
one.
on this one: is this the Fight for Fortune killer we've been waiting for?
No, it isn't. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh game that came out was announced for Vita in Japan, and if that comes over here, that actually might do really well because the 5Ds Decade Duel
those
whatever
those have all been good.
did really well on
Yeah.
PSN. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd be surprised if that didn't come here. Number 12. PS Vita exclusive Body Check has been announced from developer Ludometrics. It's described as a sports game for people that don't like sports. You can actually see like some of the art on IGN, and the reason I put it in here is it's just a bizarre sounding and looking game, and it's a Vita exclusive. So I think it might be pretty interesting. I don't know. I talked to the developer very briefly on Twitter, and we will hear more about the game later this year.
All right,
That's it.
Yay.
Goldfarb.
Hey.
You know, I'm excited to see reaction to this nudie card game they got coming out here on the Vita. I believe that's its official title.
Oh, that's gonna be
But that's
great.
not out yet. If I wanted to know what was in stores, where could I go?
Official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all three platforms by the IGN editors.
This is a paltry week.
Yeah, this is really sad.
But the good news, the really good news,
The really good news
is that you can begin pre-ordering Infamous Second Son
Yay.
for $59.99. I can't fucking wait for that game.
Yeah.
Did you see internationally they get a little keychain of Sackboy dressed like Delson?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want that.
Yeah, keep shoving that little big planet down our throat, everybody.
Yeah, they're like, please be excited about Little Big Planet.
Remember
Hubs.
Little Big Planet carding?
Please look forward to it.
You remember the Kevin Butler character in Little Big Planet Karting?
Yeah.
That went over well.
Yeah, everybody loved Kevin
No, I
Butler.
know, but
Until he was
everybody
a
loved Little Big
turncoat.
Planet Karting.
Until he was a turncoat.
Did,
No
it
one.
did it have Michelin tires? The cart?
That was good. That was funny.
See what he did there?
With the little Wii in the middle. Little pee-pee in the middle.
All right, what else we got?
All right.
That's not.
Grid 2 Reloaded comes digitally to PS3 via PSN. Ali Ali comes to Vita. Now, you've been playing this game.
Yes.
What are you going to give it?
Can I say that yet?
Well, have you
Unless
locked
you're
in
going
the
to change
score?
your score.
Okay, well, I'm vacillating right now, but it's going to be in the mid to upper 7 ranges. It might even sneak into the 8.
Ooh.
I was going to sneak in. Like,
What is
gonna
that
jump the
game?
fence
Explain
or-
the game to me.
So Ali Ali is a side-scrolling 2D skateboarding game whose mechanics are nothing like Tony Hawk. So if you've played a lot of Tony Hawk, you'll instantly feel like a fish out of water. But then once you get your bearings and see like kind of the elegance of how the left analog stick and like trick controls go, like you just hit this rhythm that's just perfect, and it's very technique-based, very skill-based.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's basically a side-scrolling skateboarding street skating game.
Nice.
It looks cool. It's funny because I played it at E3, and I didn't like it at all. Like, I didn't understand the game.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
And
make any sense at first.
Yeah, I don't understand how to even, like, I just kept crashing and dying, and then I started, like, reading other people's opinions, and some of the reviews had gone up, and people, like, fucking loved this game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, like, I have it. I haven't started it yet. I'm going to Long Island this weekend, so I might just play it when I'm there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It takes every instinct you have about how a skateboarding game will play and totally flips it on its head. Like if you're used to like the shoulder buttons being to do grabs, or you're used to pressing a direction with a button to do a trick, you're pressing X to jump, all those things are like nope. You're gonna keep trying the things that you know to do, and it's gonna keep screwing you over and causing you to like, just plant out. But once you square yourself with it, like get away from that old muscle memory and learn the game on its terms and like what it does, like it does what it does like really well.
Nice.
think-
It reminds me of
And the soundtrack is spectacular. Oh my god.
It's just I don't know why I put it in the same category, but like just looking at the game and the way it takes like something that we know and love, like a skateboarding game, and does something different, it makes me really excited for that game Metrico on Vita.
Yeah, Metrico's interesting.
Because that's like a puzzle platformer that's like totally different. That game, I'm gonna tell you what.
That's a winner.
Oh my god,
That's a Colin Moriarty pick?
that game's gonna be good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now I'm curious if I can ask real quick, Colin. Like you said that when you first started playing Ollie Ollie, it just made no sense to you, and you're like, "What is going on?" Didn't you feel the same way about Metrico?
Yeah, Metrico. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But I got to spend like an hour with Metrico.
Oh, okay.
I was on the floor playing Ollie Ollie with a line behind me. And
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a go. I believe all these good reviews. So.
I think that's the thing about Metrico, though, that's interesting, is that I think the whole point is for you to feel completely confused and lost at first, because whereas most games, like, you learn the language of, puzzle solving and the mechanics over time, and then you master it, Metrico is like, no, every 5 minutes, like, the rules are different, and the game is figuring out those rules and mechanics, not so much mastering a set of tools. I think it's going to be good, too.
All right.
I look forward to it.
Now it's time for the show to spiral into annual territory where we get really anal about predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, every year we predict 5 things apiece for what's going to happen to the PlayStation platform. Let's go over the 2013 results. These, of course, come from Mitchell Morgan, MDog2438. Everyone knows him well. Colin trusts them implicitly unless the numbers don't go in Colin's favor. Mitchell writes in and says, "Hey guys, I'll cut right to the chase here. The results are your annual PlayStation predictions for 2013. Note the results of these predictions are guaranteed to be 100% correct." He starts with me, Greg. Greg predicted PlayStation 4 arrives in October, and it's called PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 is called PlayStation 4, but it was released in November. 0.5 points awarded. Patapon Vita arrives before 2014. Crossplay with the PlayStation 4. Nope, 0 points. Infamous Vita will be revealed at E3. Sony is not developing it. Nope, 0 points. Sony Ben's second Uncharted game is announced in 2013, released in 2014. M-Dog writes, "We're still not sure what Sony Bend is up to, ... at Lord Eric." 0 points to Greg.
Tell us, Eric.
An Uncharted 4 trailer, shown sometime in 2013, will tease Drake's return in 2014. A trailer promising Drake's return was not shown, was shown, but no date was given. 0.5 points.
1 point.
I came away with 1 out of 5 on that.
It didn't promise anything about Drake. Drake's not even mentioned in that trailer. So
He's going to be back. I'm going to give you that.
I agree. I feel like
I'm
that's a
gonna
0.25.
Okay, so you got 0.75 points, Greg.
I got 0.75? Well, Mitchell Morgan is already...
Drake's return was not teased in that trailer. Uncharted's return was teased in that trailer.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying, Mitchell Morgan, the governing body of the PlayStation predictions, gave me 1 point. I'm going to stick with that, all right? Goldfarb is next.
I'm going to do a lot worse.
Goldfarb said... Next console from Sony will be called PlayStation 4. It will be released in 2013. The PlayStation 4 was released in 202013. 1 point.
And that was a really safe. Yeah,
I know, right?
Safe prediction.
Bold
See,
moves.
that's always what we flirt with, right? Do you want to win, or do you want to be a little goofy and do a little, be a little goofy out there? In 2013, Sony will announce, but not release, next-gen Killzone, Uncharted, and Infamous. M-Dog writes, Sony announced next-gen Killzone, Uncharted, and Infamous, but Killzone was released. Oh no, math. 5/6 of the prediction is correct. I'm rounding to the nearest 0.25, so I'll award you 0.75 points. Here comes your dumbest one. Andrew predicted BioShock will be IGN's Game of the Year. While BioShock was a front-runner, The Last of Us was awarded IGN's Game of the Year, 0 points. Valve will announce a game for a Sony console in 2013. Nope. Valve is worrying about their own console. 0 points. New DLC for PlayStation All-Stars will be at E3, but they won't make a big deal out of it. Sadly, PlayStation All-Stars hasn't been supported in a long while. 0 points. Still, you're the front runner now with 1.75 points.
For now.
Wow. For now, yeah.
Ryan Clements, by the way, earned 1 point, but since he's dead, I'm not going to go through his thing.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
These
peace.
were all really goofy, right?
R.I.P.
This was the year where they were like,
Well, that's what
Jack
Colin,
will
yeah,
clap.
He got 1 point. The 1 point he got was gamers around the world will continue to despise the PlayStation Move. M-Dog writes, I shed a tear every time I look at the PlayStation Move. I think that's enough. 1 point.
Don't tell his boss he said that.
Time for Colin Moriarty. He wasn't hired yet. He can say whatever. Did he say anything else incriminating here? No.
That was surprisingly harsh for Ryan Clements.
Yeah.
It was. Colin.
Yes.
This is for the victory.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Hook me up.
All right. The next PlayStation console will not be called PlayStation 4. 0 points. Sony will purchase Quantic Dream by the end of 2013, but after Beyond Two Souls comes out, nope, 0 points.
Survey says.
Sucker Punch is working on a PlayStation 4 launch game that is not Infamous. Nope, Sucker Punch is working on a game, but it's not a launch title. That game is Infamous, 0 points.
I don't remember any of these.
The new PlayStation will launch at with a single SKU, and it will be $3.99.
Yep.
Good call.
Boom. Nailed it.
Now here you go. Make or break question. How many points can you round it off to? You need 1 for the win, 0.75 for the victory.
Okay.
Or sorry, the tie. Insomniac will reveal before year's end that they are still working on PlayStation exclusives. Insomniac released Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus for PlayStation platforms. So correct, 1 point.
Wow.
Colin Moriarty wins
Oh,
predictions
yeah.
with 2 points.
Did it.
Impressive.
Way to fuck that up, Goldfarb.
Did it.
You couldn't take him down. Got it. Somebody else write in now and tell us if you won the 2012 prediction. I don't know.
Someone owes me a
don't
pizza.
think We argued about that. We argued.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
I won that one. All right.
Yeah.
Who owes me a pizza?
Nobody.
Okay.
You don't deserve.
I have a pizza debt of at least 8 pizzas right
Yeah.
now.
We should just have a pizza party one night that just calls everything, like, just puts us all square.
What we all just buy.
Kings the
Yeah,
slate.
we buy 3 pizzas, we each pay for one, and then it just...
That'd be fun. I like that. I still got the Persona pizza bet with you and Christine too, though.
Yeah, well, that's a next year pizza.
Yeah, I know,
That's
I
a
know.
I don't mean
2015
any of the pizza bets I make.
Huh?
I say I don't mean any of the pizza bets I
I
make.
thought you said I don't eat any of the pizza. That'd make you buy me the pizza and I throw it away.
Oh, I wet my ass with this pizza. All right, time for 2014 predictions. What we do, each of us has 5 predictions. We go one by one through the rotations to get to them. Vince,
Yes.
start us off with what is your number 1 PlayStation prediction for 2014.
Okay.
M-Dog, start taking notes now.
All right, here we go. Sony is going to announce that the PS4 Vita bundle is going to come to US, and The Last Guardian will be shown at E3 as the first game that's going to heavily integrate the Vita into the.
I like that's a
Yep.
bold prediction.
That
I
is
like that a lot.
Super bold
Yeah.
prediction.
That's a strong
There are like
standing your
11
ground
different points
prediction.
in that thing.
The Last Guardian has been like MIA for a really long time. The lead director has said that he's continued to work on it. Every single time someone says the game's canceled or the game's, he comes out and insists that he has been continually working on it. The only thing that can continually take that long to work on for as many years as it's been being worked on, if Sony's not lying to us, which I don't think they are, is a port to the PS4 and B, some new functionality that we don't know about. So I think that would, if that popped up, that would totally make sense to me.
Okay. I like that one.
Also, they've got to do something to keep the Vita relevant, right? And they're trying to integrate it with the PlayStation 4 as much as they can already. But I think that if they added a really highly desirable game like The Last Guardian as having major functionality, that will push a lot of people who've been on the fence about getting a Vita to get it.
All right, Colin Moriarty, in your attempt for a to repeat.
Number 1. PlayStation Vita's new model, 2000, will officially launch in the West no later than April of 2014 and will cost $199.99. It will launch alongside the 64-gigabyte memory card.
That's very nice. Yeah, Schneider pointed this out to me the other day. You can't buy the 32 gig card anymore. You can't get it from anywhere. You only get it from used places,
it's
or if a
become
store
rare.
has it. Yeah.
And so I tweeted about this weekend, but I had my good buddy Greg Miller buy me one in Japan,
Yeah.
64 gig. The 32 gig, if you trade into Amazon, I got $51
Damn.
for it. Which
I
is
sold mine to
really
Pear,
good.
yeah.
So I've 2 predictions that sort of align with yours nicely, but I'm
I saw
I'm
you
gonna-
go.
No,
I
I
say
did
about-
the opposite of that. I went, damn. So, all right, I'll start by responding to Vince. The Last Guardian will not be addressed in any official capacity in 2014. I think the reason it's taking so long is because they canceled and restarted it, and it's languishing somewhere.
Okay.
So I think you
the
will
bowels of Studio
It'll be the
Japan.
same kind of thing where like someone will ask Shuhei and he'll have like a cryptic quote and like stuff like that will continue to happen, but it won't be like shown at a press conference or at E3 or on the floor. Like it's not going to be officially talked about.
Okay. My first prediction. It's announced that Uncharted PS4 is coming in 2014, but it gets delayed to 2015.
Ooh,
I think they publicly stated at some point, and then just pooped the bed. Don't get it out.
I like that.
Real quick, we asked the Twitter kids, too, what they want for the Beyond thing. Irish95 says, Naughty Dog will release Uncharted 4 with a voucher to download previous Uncharted games for free with PlayStation Now.
Ooh, that's really smart.
Yeah.
You listening, Shuhei?
No, he's not. He's jet skiing around the world.
Jet skiing around the world.
Yeah. Vince,
It's going to take a long time.
Yes.
your second prediction.
My second prediction. So my second prediction is that Sony is going to swoop into the rescue of Hello Games, who had that terrible flood, and in that deal of them swooping in to save them financially, they will secure No Man's Sky as a Sony exclusive.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah. There was the day that happened, Phil Spencer from Microsoft tweeted. So this would be a nice. I like that.
And that's why I feel like there's blood in the water. I think Sony knows that Microsoft is possibly
Wait, there was blood in that water.
That's what made it so hard. No, but yeah, I think that they know there's something that could happen there, and I don't think they want to see Microsoft get a jump on that over them. And I think Sony has a history of helping out small studios, throwing them a lot of money and saying, "Do your vision," and then riding that success. So I think they'll do that there,
and then setting their game out to die. Number 2. Uncharted 4 will be officially revealed at E3 in 2014, but it will not be available until the holiday season of 2015 at the earliest.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
I like that.
I like that too. I like how specific you are, Colin. I like how you don't talk about these like they're predictions. You talk about them like they were visions that you had.
We've known for a long time. We've known for a long time that Colin sees things in the future. Things come to him, whether it be Frederick or something else. He knows.
Yeah, but sometimes he like steps into it and it alters it, even though he saw the
I haven't seen Frederick lately. I'm worried about his spirit.
I think it might have changed.
Yeah. Okay, so I say Uncharted will be fully unveiled at E3 as well. It will not be called Uncharted 4. It'll be Uncharted : something. It'll be spiritually Uncharted 4. It'll continue the story. It'll have Drake and all that. But I think with Killzone and Infamous and a lot of other things, like that is where we're headed this generation. They're dropping the numbers. So I think it'll be called Uncharted : blah 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 blah, and it'll be at E3. We find out.
Number 2, the PlayStation Vita Slim arrives in the U.S. in 2 colors in September.
I like that. Yeah, we're not going to get all those awesome colors.
No,
it'll be like black and white or something.
Exactly, something stupid.
Yep.
Whiskey and Video Games tweeted at us. They said a new Silent Hill game will be announced for PlayStation 4 with Kojima involved.
Too bold.
Goldfarb just shrugs and looks all weird.
I mean, that would be interesting.
He's already got 2 projects in the works. So we'll see.
Okay. Vinny Mac.
Okay. An Infamous game will be announced for the Vita this year. It will bridge the events of 2 and Second Son, and playing it will unlock stuff for you. It'll also, in some degree, there'll be like a cross play kind of functionality or cross save functionality between the Vita and PS4 Second Son, where you'll unlock things in Second Son if you do stuff in Vita.
I like what you're doing. I like what you're pitching.
Yeah. Even if they were just like, hey, like Infamous 2 on Vita or something, I'd be fine with that.
Number 3.
Colin Moriarty to the plate.
Demon's Souls will get a PlayStation exclusive sequel that will be revealed for both PS4 and Vita, and will launch in 2014 in Japan.
Wow, that'd be huge for Vita.
Yeah, that would be unbelievable.
That would be quite a coup.
Yeah. They own that IP, and there's no way they don't know the value of that IP, and so they'll either do it at Studio Japan internally, or they'll pay From to do it for themselves. But either way, that game would sell Vitas, and that would sell PS4s, and that would sell lots and lots of copies.
I wonder. See, I feel like From wouldn't do it at this point though, because they're going to be supporting Dark Souls 2.
Why not? If Sony's like, here's $25 million,
I guess that's true.
Go make the game.
Money talks, Goldfarb.
Okay. So I'm gonna get a little. I'm abstaining from predicting if and when the currently announced PS Vita Slim will come to the U.S.
Okay.
But in the second half of 2014, I think Sony, after PlayStation Now has launched, I think Sony's going to reveal the Vita 3000 in Japan, probably TGS again, which will be a digital-only, significantly cheaper Vita SKU. No card slots, doesn't matter. It's for streaming. It's for using PlayStation Now. It'll support Vita memory cards, obviously, so you can download games if you want to. But I think you'll see a much cheaper model announced in Japan before the end of the year.
Okay. My third prediction. Outside of a brief mention at E3, we don't see a thing about Sony Entertainment Network's TV streaming service in 2014. That's one of the things I'm most excited for from that CES conference. I mean, PlayStation Now obviously is number one, but right behind it, what's going on with this TV thing? Because they had so many fewer details compared to what they said about PlayStation Now. Right, and we're talking about how, Colin, how HBO breaks away from cable. Like, this would be another avenue for seeing networks and companies try to do that and get away.
Yep, for sure.
Speaking of PlayStation Now and all this digital stuff, Brian Bell tweeted at us. He said, I predict the PlayStation Now will be available in US/Canada as of 7/1, so July 1st. It'll cost $9.99 a month, and PlayStation Now will be $10.99 a month for access to PlayStation Plus cloud saves for games you previously owned.
Interesting.
That'd be cool.
Interesting indeed. Vince.
Yes.
Fourth.
Yes. Okay, so Final Fantasy 15 will be shown and playable on the PS4 at TGS, along with an announcement that it will be a 6-month timed exclusive.
Nice.
I feel like the relationship between Square and Microsoft isn't strong. I think that was always a coming from behind sort of relationship where they didn't have any stake in them at all, and then they kind of like snuck in there. But when you look at how there's no plans to bring 14 to the Xbox One or Xbox 360, I think their relationship is just warmer with Sony, and I think that's gonna come into play in Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I would say keep that one in the bank. Even if that one doesn't end up working out this year, use that again next year for Kingdom Hearts, because I feel like that's almost certain.
Almost
for
certainly
Kingdom
going to
Hearts,
happen. Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's never been a Kingdom Hearts game on Xbox.
Right, and I don't think that's going to change with 3 either. So yeah.
Well, no, 3 is confirmed for Xbox One, but it's just weird because there's nothing else to play. I don't know, it's weird. I'm gonna play it on.
Are we good?
That's what I'm saying.
Number 4.
Hey, Colin, how you doing? Hey, you seem like you want to talk before you get to your next one.
Number 4. After several years of studio closures, Sony will add to the roster in 2014 by purchasing Housemarque.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like that
I
one
really
too.
like that one.
That would be rad. Okay.
should do that.
A triple A, so not like an indie game. A huge game or property will be exclusive. Will be announced as a third-party exclusive for PS4 in 2014.
A AAA exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Third-party AAA exclusive. Okay.
Yep.
Are you going to count Agent?
That would be
yeah.
a
I mean,
AAA.
people are talking about, that there was one in here. Let me see if I can dig it up real quick. That a guy was saying his prediction was Agent gets announced as a PlayStation 4 exclusive at E3. I'll find you and give you credit when I have the chance. My fourth prediction. Infamous Second Son wins IGN's PlayStation 4 Game of the Year award and gets nominated for Overall Game of the Year, but it does not win Overall Game of the Year.
What do you think wins overall?
I don't know. I'm forgetting games, I'm sure. I mean, what are in the...
Titanfall?
Yeah, Titan. Well, I don't think
I don't
Titanfall
think
will win
Titanfall's
overall
gonna-
game of the year, but I think you have that in the... You have it in the mix. You have Infamous in the mix. You have Metal Gear in the mix. I think Metal Gear is going to... A lot of people aren't expecting to be as good as it's going to be.
Destiny is next fall.
I don't think Destiny is.
Watch Dogs is
The Order.
sometime. The Order, yeah.
And what else?
Drive Club.
Drive Club's going to probably
Drive
win.
Club?
IGN overall.
Drive Club?
Yeah.
Drive Club would be good.
Walking Dead still will finish by then. Too,
Yeah, and
which will be a
Wolf.
big part.
And Wolf Among Us, yeah.
Wolf Among Us is a shot in hell.
Have you played
Game of
someone?
the Year. Yeah, I have. Who do I look like? What? Huh?
Murasaki Baby.
You look like Murasaki Baby.
That's true.
I think Wolf Among Us Episode 1 is fantastic.
I do too. I don't think it's Game of the Year. Tell you that much right now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Vince. Final round.
Yes.
Oh, wait, did I read a kid's... Oh, we talked about the agent thing. I'll try to find that real quick.
Okay.
And also,
My foot's really badly asleep right now.
Justin Das, he tweeted and said, I predict the order will be delayed till 2015.
Ooh.
I think that's a fair prediction. We'll see.
Colin's little heart would be broken.
Um,
And his big
And
heart.
Burt Macklin said Rockstar Agent is getting announced for the PS4 at E3.
What was that, 2008?
yeah, I think so.
Jeez.
Maybe
Around there.
Yeah.
So this final prediction breaks my heart. I hope it doesn't come true, actually. But so Sony will continue to release excellent free games for PlayStation Plus members throughout the year. But late in the year, maybe around E3 or a little bit before then, they will announce that in 2015 the price for PlayStation Plus will be going up. And
How much? What do you see?
By $10.
Okay.
I can't see it.
It hurts! I'm holding back!
I don't want to see it happen, but it's like the level of quality in the games they've been offering for free has just been killing it so far, especially since the PS4 launched. And I think they're probably going to keep that up. And I think they're going to realize at a certain point that people's free libraries have become such a value to them that much like achievements or their friends list for people on Xbox Live, it becomes this investment that they can't walk away from anymore. And so they feel like they'll pay anything for it. I don't want to think that Sony's going to do that because they've been the good guy for the most of the generation. But if I were them and I saw what my users thought about this service and how fiercely loyal they're going to become to the more and more their library of free games grows, I'd see dollar signs.
I mean, they could literally triple the price and it would still be an unbelievable deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I
it's
totally agree.
Well, yeah.
Totally agree.
I think you're probably right. I think it'll be $10 more expensive,
I'm
and I will
fucking-
happily pay
I
that.
I don't think
know
it
I'm
gets, I don't think it
probably
gets
right.
raised this year.
No, it's not going to get raised this year. They're going to announce that it's going to raise in 2015, so that everyone's like, but if you sign like Xbox Live did, but if you sign up now before this date,
Right.
you can still lock in the lower price, and that'll get in new users. It'll get people who already have it to
Re-up.
renew
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the spot and re-up.
Smart business plan there. I guess we know what job interview you're dressed for.
Number 5. Guerrilla Games' new IP will be teased by the end of the year. It will be an open-world RPG in the same vein as Fallout 3 or Skyrim.
Ooh.
That's out of left field, but awesome.
It's not so out of left field. They hired the writer of New Vegas. So
Now, that GDC talk I covered a few years ago, they were talking about that too, all the different things they had.
I have two. I wrote down a sub prediction just in case.
Yeah.
Someone
That
took
was
one
it?
of mine, but no one took it. Now
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if I like that one better than my fifth one. My fifth one's really safe. I'll say
Then
that
don't
one.
go. Don't be safe.
I'm
Get out there and live.
I'll be safe, but I'll say what my sub one was. I think you'll see a Last of Us Game of the Year edition on PS4.
Uh-huh.
You'll see it in August of 2014.
Okay.
It'll release in August of 2014
I hear what you're saying.
for PS4 with all DLC.
It will be released.
It will be released on a Tuesday during the month of August.
Mitchell Morgan, you heard it here
Oh,
first.
it's going to be on a Friday. I'm going to regret that.
No,
so
you don't have
much.
to write. You don't have to do the date. The date's not part of it.
It'll be in the month of August.
My final prediction. This is probably safe, but it hurts me to say it finally aloud. We won't see a new standalone Patapon game this year. I will be bitching about it forever.
No, this is smart because you've said it every year and it doesn't happen, so
Yeah.
you're doing reverse psychology.
Yeah,
You'll
now-
take
now
the hit and
I'm
lose
finally,
the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll gladly give up a point in this
Yeah.
meaningless prediction roundup
Yeah, that was
if
smart.
Shuhei will finally listen to the thousands upon thousands of Greg Millers asking for this game.
My sub prediction, which obviously I wouldn't expect points for, I don't think you'll actually see PlayStation Now released this summer, or they'll try and launch it and it'll be messed up or something.
Well,
I
sure,
don't,
it's gonna be messed up.
Yeah, I don't think it will actually launch this summer as they announced.
That makes sense that you're saying that because actually, when you said your final prediction, I was like, that was your safe one because I feel like as much as I would love to see The Last of Us, spruced up a little bit on the PS4, I also think that if they do that, then it kind of kills the thunder of bringing it to PlayStation Now. I think PlayStation Now needs like a killer, like we've got to have
point.
that,
Good
and I
point.
feel like The Last of Us is probably going to be that. So I don't see why they would release a version that would conflict with it. But God, I would still love to see like next gen lighting and particle effects and performance brought to that game because it would just give that last final level of sheen to something that already looks incredible. I love it.
Martin Sheen.
What's that?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen.
I'm Martin Sheen.
Very specific
Let
kind
me
of
tell you
sheen.
about the PlayStation 4.
The best sheen.
Yeah,
If we're being
yes,
honest.
yeah.
I usually
Well, unless you consider Emilio Estevez a Sheen.
he is a Sheen.
Well, but I mean, he's not a Sheen by name,
No, but that's by choice, isn't it?
probably.
yeah, that's best choice.
Yeah.
I don't think they said you're just not up to snuff. Your new
Well,
name is
no,
Emilio
yeah,
Estevez.
no.
He's like, no.
Also, Emilio Sheen sounds terrible. Like I would never want to be called that.
Was that his first name the whole time?
That's a good question. Now you're testing mine. I have no idea, but I just know that Emilio Sheen wouldn't work.
Colin, you're a big Emilio Estevez fan.
Oh, yeah,
you don't have this. You don't
I
have
don't
this
know, I don't
information
know.
down?
I
Like, what is
can't-
real?
I can't-
His
I
legal-
can't
you can't
see
see that either. Now your predictions. Now your psychic ability can't even see real facts in the here and now.
My sixth prediction is that Colin leaves IGN in 2014 to start an Emilio Estevez fan.
He kickstarts the new Mighty Ducks movie, The Return of Gordon Bombay. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other kids' predictions. What do you say, Colin?
Okay.
Stephen Brown tweeted, he said, The Last of Us quietly canceled. Probably true. I'm going to say that's fine. But Fallout
The Last
4...
Guardian?
The Last Guardian.
Yeah, sorry. Last Guardian
They
quietly
take
canceled.
back every, they recall every
Guys,
copy
we need
of
the
the
game.
Why do they cancel the game? They go to every GameStop and buy it.
Too many games
but-
of the year.
And then
awards.
Goldfarb's like, yes, we can give Game of the Year to Bioshock Infinite!
More importantly, Fallout 4 is announced with timed exclusives for PS4 for DLC. What do you-
That's interesting because Bethesda does owe Sony like a make good on how fucked up Skyrim was. So that
That's true.
might be something that they worked out for sure.
yeah. Ethan,
Interesting.
Colin, talk me off the ledge here. Is Fallout 4 coming this year, you think?
No.
No.
Well, how
They'll-
great would
they'll-
that be, though, if it was?
Oh, that would be
God,
be
I want
awesome.
Fallout
They'll
4 so
announce
bad.
it soon, I think. But
Yeah.
Although,
no, not this year.
so
Oh,
if
I'd
I'm
kill for
doing
that,
this
man.
right, Skyrim was 2011, and Oblivion was 2008.
Yeah.
So Bethesda game, and so I talked about this with Ryan McCaffrey, right? Like Bethesda has done a game every 3
You
years.
mean Fallout 3 was 2008?
What'd I say?
Oblivion.
No, I mean yes. Thank you. That was a really weird thing to say. Yes.
Oblivion was
Fallout 3 was 2008.
2006,
Skyrim was 2011. Yeah, Oblivion was launch.
Yeah.
So Oblivion might have been 2005 actually.
Oblivion wasn't
Which supports-
launch.
It was 2006.
Well, it was like launch era. It was yeah. Point being though, roughly every 3 years they've been releasing a game from Bethesda Game Studios, and Elder Scrolls Online maintains the brand equity of the Elder Scrolls, even if they release a follow game this year, and like if they don't have a next gen, Elder Scrolls 6 yet,
And they wouldn't want an Elder Scrolls title competing
with it exactly. So and plus ZeniMax is doing that, not Bethesda Game Studios. So I think 2014 could happen in terms of maintaining their timeline. It just depends on if next gen development affected that. or
I'm
anything.
not super positive that's a next gen game. Like I don't like Skyrim's tech is like so impressive, and they were like so all about it that if Fallout 4 did come out this year, I bet you it's a current gen game.
I'll take that bet.
Okay.
Shake on it, pizza.
Okay, so to define this, I don't know.
Mitchell Moore, get the bet book already.
If Fallout 4 comes out
Everyone
this
download
year,
the bet book.
it's current gen.
it's
only.
a current gen only game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no way. It'll be on next gen. It might be on both, but it'll at least be on next gen. Yeah.
I just feel like it's the same principle of like Grand Theft Auto 5. Like
we've put so much into this.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like obviously they're gonna, I'm sure, put it on next gen consoles at some point, but.
I don't know. They put a lot of work into Oblivion too, though. Like they made a big deal about that tech as well. And all the AI routines and the way the world was generated. I mean, they made a big deal about that too, and they went to a whole new horse pretty much.
We'll see.
Plus, they know that their engine wasn't running super well on PS3 for Skyrim. So.
We'll see how it works. There's just something to be said about that, I think.
I would not be happy if I lost this bet because I want my big next gen open.
Oh,
world
me too.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna get it from Gorilla.
From a gorilla? They're gonna bring it to
Gorilla is working on a game right now.
How great would it be if Gorilla put out a Gorilla game?
Oh, that would be the best.
It's like just a total Donkey
I have
Kong
a good.
knockoff.
I don't know why.
Escape Ape 4.
Yeah.
I have
Ape Escape 4?
I have a good feeling about that unknown Gorilla game. Like
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that
I'm excited for them to stretch their legs on whatever they're working on, right?
Yep.
Like they've done so much Killzone.
Yeah, just leave
it's like,
Killzone
all right, let's
alone.
go do
It's
something.
time to move on.
Leave Killzone alone.
And I think with Killzone Shadowfall, I think you and I were talking about this. They clearly show signs that they're ready to come out of that shell and stretch their legs creatively and make a different game.
Yeah, well, especially even just by changing the palette as much as they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they're ready to at least make something that looks prettier and,
Sure.
and a little different.
A little different.
A well different.
Whoa. Colin.
Yeah.
You're the number guy at IGN.
Sure.
You're all over there with your abacus going
You
to town.
unbuttoning your shirt?
No, I'm buttoning it back up.
Taylor Hoyt tweeted, he said his prediction was the PlayStation 4 sells 20 million worldwide by the end of 2014.
No way.
No. Yeah.
But it'll do well. But maybe 10 to 12 million. I don't think it'll.
I think 10 is safe. I think it
10,
could
15.
The safe bet is that they'll both Xbox One and PS4 will cross 10 in 2014. I think if they have an incredible year, I can see Sony reaching like at the max maybe 15.
That's what I was going to say. 15 at the outside.
But yeah, like there's
Yeah.
going beyond 15 would mean they had like an insane year. That would mean like they were just doing incredible.
So we're talking cumulatively, like he thinks it's going to cross 20
Worldwide,
million.
he's saying in 2014.
Yeah, and there's just no way. I mean, there's just not the games aren't there. Like Infamous is going to be awesome, and that's going to sell units, but I don't think it's going to sell that many units. The Order, it's the same thing probably. Drive Club's not going to sell any consoles, so like they don't have any big exclusives. I mean, Deep Down's coming out and like all this stuff, but they don't have. You need like Uncharted or something like that to really.
Well, and I also think that
or Gran Turismo would have been probably pretty smart to put on.
It's important to point out that doesn't mean it's going to do badly. It's just the point is that the momentum that comes at a launch isn't possible to maintain throughout the course of a full calendar. Like,
Right.
I mean, they're not going to get the groundswell of support they got at launch in like April or whatever. Like that's just not how it works.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, that would be like Wii era, like Wii scale.
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
It's just not. There's no way.
Yep.
Okay. Next one for everyone to chew on. Goldfarb. I want you to get on this like a bulldog on a steak, all right? Robert Banks, he tweeted and said, we will see a new PlayStation Move controller for the PlayStation 4 shown at E3.
God. I mean, the
We're
fact-
past this, right? I do not want another PlayStation Move
Yeah.
in my life. I
Especially
want Sony to give up. They got a good thing going. Games.
So what I'm hoping is that because it's the light bar is built into the controller,
Right.
that the idea is if you have the camera and if you have a normal DualShock 4, there can be integrated Move features in games. But a standalone Move controller would be a huge bummer.
Yeah, I hope they've learned their lesson, right?
It's not going to happen. Like, I don't think it's even that they had to learn a lesson. Like, legitimately, they had the tech sitting around and mostly, largely, designed and developed when the Wii hit and the Wiimote became a thing. And I think at that point they were just like, okay, well, let's just greenlight this and push this forward because we already have it like somewhat made, so we can try to make money off of it now that it's a craze. And then as soon as it wasn't selling, I mean, they just kind of shut up about it. I mean, I don't really think that they're not pulling a Microsoft where they're under the impression that this is where their next big meal ticket is, and I think that's why a lot of core gamers have appreciated Sony's direction so much because they're not taking that bait the way Microsoft did. So I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see any world in which it happens. I think
I feel like
they
they've
took
learned
their
their
opportunity
lesson.
when they had it, and now the opportunity is gone. It's past. And I think they're moving forward.
Yeah, Vince is right, by the way, about a key point. Not that I defend Move because I think Move just was a bad idea, but there's a few good games for it. But that Move, like everyone thinks Sony copied Nintendo, but Move was developed like in the PS2 era by I think a guy named Richard Marx actually.
Yeah.
So like they did have that tech, and like that tech did predate Sony's knowledge of Wii. So They arrived at the same conclusion, but Sony just wasn't, I guess, smart enough to the market to realize that they could have actually changed everything by releasing this thing at a certain time. So by the time they did it, it just didn't seem relevant anymore. But a lot of people get on them for like copying, but that's not true. That's just not.
I think
true.
the point because that's pretty well documented. I think it's the navigation controller is the thing people accuse them of, because that's like compared to the nunchuck with Wii.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of that.
I never even used it really.
No, I agree, but it's that.
Oh, maybe I did.
That's the missing part of the puzzle that allows you to use it as a replacement for the traditional analog stick controller. And I think the wand itself, I don't think they're accused of ripping off that often. I think it's the combination of those two things. I don't think they necessarily ripped off technology either, but it was a bad idea.
I think they learned their lesson, right? I think the PlayStation 4 has been on point from day one since they started talking about it, because they're focusing on games and gamers. And if they stick with that, they'll be fine. You know what I mean? Don't make a big deal about it. They're focusing on technology and streaming and clouds. I'm dying, but I want you to know they're doing it right.
The cloud has got me.
Gosh.
No, but yes, I hope that I'm with you. Stay the course.
Yeah.
Yep.
They know it. Shuhei knows it.
Yeah, he does.
That Jack Tretton, he knows it. Jackie T, he knows. Yeah. He's all over it. JT. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been podcast episode 325. Thank you so much for joining us.
Only 75 more episodes till 400.
Start sending in don't send in anything.
And even sooner for the
our call-in show.
Yeah,
we got a lot of stuff to plan as usual.
That'll be this year. That's scary.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your support. Remember, Podcast Beyond posts every Tuesday on IGN and your favorite podcast service. But also remember that IGN.com is what keeps the lights on. Podcasts are fun, but you need to come to IGN.com, watch the videos, read the articles, join that Prime if you feel inclined. Look at that. Hit a dinger right
Greg
there.
Miller switching the marketing department.
We do it all here. Up until then, you can keep track of everything we're doing over on Twitter. IGN is IGN. I'm Game Over Greggy. Garfep is Andrew Goldfarb. Not great, but it was better. It was better. No Taxation is Colin Moriarty. And then Vince Ingenito is Vince Ingenito.
How is this complicated for people?
Because it's stupid. It's a dumb name.
It's called Vincognito, but Nito is spelled like Nito, like Neato.
Right.
It's not incognito with a V in front of it. That's why it's confusing. I mean, don't ask why it's confusing. It's very confusing.
How is that confusing? It's called a play on words.
Written out, it makes sense. Trying to explain to someone verbally, it's very
That's
confusing.
a good point. He's got a point.
Fair enough. So anyway, to review, I am Vincognito, Neato.
Vincognito Nito.
He's Nito.
No, stop it.
It's not confusing at all.
Stop ruining my following.
Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.